Okay, now that we have seen that OATS has been successfully installed and it is verified it's working fine, we also want to look at the challenges which might be during the installation or maybe post installation. In order to understand that, we have to first run a diagnosis which is given by the OATS tool. So go to help menu and then click on open script diagnosis tool. Here you have multiple areas where you want to run the diagnosis. So select whichever you want to scan through and then click on next. Now OATS is basically scanning the entire environment along with the OATS environment to see if there are any issues. I see in the current installation most of them are fine except that we have three issues. While OATS identifies these issues during the diagnosis, it also tells you what are the fixes that can be done for this. Let's go one by one. So let's go to Firefox version. The note says here that Firefox version installed is not supported. Please refer to the release notes for the current supported version. Which means the Firefox which is installed in my machine is not supported for the OATS version that I have installed. So how do you know what is the right version for this particular OATS? Let us now check what are the compatible browser versions with respect to the OATS installed in our machine. You need to open the OATS release notes PDF file. I'll show you where it is available in your machine. Under this file, you have system requirements, Oracle functional testing, OpenScript. So if you see here, it also shows the memory it's required, other system requirement, disk space. The one we are more concerned now is about the browsers. So it says it supports Internet Explorer 11 version and Firefox 32-bit ESR. ESR is basically extended supported release. So only 45 and 52 are supported in ESR 32-bit, and then any Chrome browser version should do, and also Microsoft Edge on Windows 10. Now, where did I find this file of release notes? So you have to go to the OATS installation folder, and then you have docs, English versions, and then you have OATS release notes. There are also other documents which you can refer to, which will be more helpful if you have to learn and debug more or get more insights on OATS tools. Okay, now what we have to do is first you have to uninstall the Firefox, which I have done already. After that, we have to search for the download of Firefox, which is of 52 version and ESR 32-bit. So let's go there and search. So I have a blog, testingtools.co, where I've given a link for this. So I'm searching in that itself. Download Firefox ESR. Okay. So I'm going to my blog. At the bottom, you would find a link, browser-based FTP downloads for Firefox. Click on it. So here you have the list of all Firefox version releases, so that you can go for a specific location and download. For now, we are looking for 52 ESR version basically. So here I have 52.0 ESR. In that, it's specifically mentioned we have to go for 32-bit. So I'm going for 32-bit. Here you can click on English US and then you have to click on this to download. So we'll resume once the download is complete. Okay, the download is complete for 52 ESR from 32-bit version. You can install it. I click and say run as administrator. Now it starts installing the Firefox. Click next, standard, install. Wait till the installation is complete. I'll resume once the installation is complete. Okay, so we need not launch now. Go to finish. Now we have two files, bad files provided by OATS. So we need to run that. First one is uninstalling the browser helpers, and the next one is to install the browser helpers. Because Firefox is installed freshly, we have to do this step. And one very important thing, you have to open the command prompt in elevated privileges. That is, you right click and then say run as administrator. Navigate to the folder where we have the bad files, that is in the Oracle ATS OpenScript folder. First we have to uninstall, yeah, uninstall browser helpers.bat and press enter. This will uninstall the existing browser helpers with respect to all browsers. And now we install by entering the command install browser helpers.bat. It's very important to understand the command prompt is opened in administrator mode. Otherwise, you might see errors popping up when you install the browser helpers.bat. Now let's go and check if the add-ons have been installed in the latest Firefox version. I mean the 52 version of ESR. Go to add-ons, and then you see OpenScript WebDOM add-on is installed and is enabled, which means OATS is now working in compatible mode with the Firefox. We can now run the diagnosis again and check if everything is fine. Okay, now run the OpenScript diagnosis tool again. Click next. Now it is searching for the configurations again, and it will list out if there are any issues. It has a new issue here. It says please close the Firefox or check the integrity of Firefox default profile manually. Let's see what does this mean. So I think I found the issue here. When I was installing the browser helpers, the add-on was not getting enabled, even though the add-on was installed. So there was some configuration issue because the add-on was unsigned, and generally Firefox does not allow unsigned to install unsigned add-ons, and that is why we go for the ESR version of Firefox. But there is also a configuration that you have to do here about config. Click on I accept the risk and then search for signature here. And then if you see here, it says XP install signature required. So I initially made this false, and then I have opened the command prompt to install the Firefox helpers or the browser helpers. But once it is done, we have to turn it back on, and that is why we were getting that issue in Firefox when we have run the diagnosis tool upwards. Now I have turned it back to true. You can actually just double click to change the value if you want. So I'm making it to true. Now let us see in OpenScript again and run the diagnosis. Click on next, and then it again scans for it. Okay, now if you see the Firefox error is gone, we are left with only two more here. The first one is called rule file for generating XPath for forms. It says go to this particular menu option, view OpenScript references, and then OpenScript record Oracle Abuse forms, object identification tab and click apply and then click OK, and this should solve the issue. So let's do it. View, open script preferences. So we have Oracle EBS Forms functional. Then we have object identification tab. It asked us to click on apply and then click OK. So I'm doing it. Now let's run the diagnosis again. Okay, if you see, even the rule file for generating XPath for forms is also fixed, and we are left with only load testing. And it also has a step, so we're not looking at it now, as the scope is more about working on the functional test automation. We are good, we have solved most of the issues here. And there might be one more challenge in the OATS installation. Generally, when people install OATS, they forget to right click on the setup file of OATS and then click on run as administrator option. Please make sure you do that. In case it is you have installed by mistake, I would recommend you to uninstall the OATS and then try to install it now by right clicking on the setup file and then using run as administrator option. So these are some of the ways how we can troubleshoot some of the installation challenges. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get into the next video.